Hey everybody. So thank you for tuning in to the first of many travel videos, at least for the month. I want y'all to bear with me. This is like my first vlog and I keep looking over at myself as I record, but we're gonna try to not do that here. But if you don't already know me, my name is Caprice. I am 29 years old and I'm going on a trip. Growing up, my mom took us everywhere. Like we road tripped, we went places. We're originally from New York, so we road tripped everywhere. We've been to Disney, we've been to Hershey Park, we went and just traveled to different states just to hang out with some of her friends that had kids. They would create play dates and we would just get in the car and go. So with that kind of upbringing, it definitely sparked a fire for travel in me. And it has done nothing but continue to grow. So I love to road trip now. I road trip like crazy. Small road trips, big road trips. Now I'm definitely prone to flying. I've been driving and road tripping since I was 16, since I could drive. So, you know, I'm 29 now. I could definitely just go for a flight. But I road trip like crazy. And I love to cruise. Cruising is the best, but so I wanted to start vlogging my travels because I'm very adventurous. And like I said before, I love to travel and I will always make time for it in my life. It's just something that I completely and truly enjoy. As you'll learn more in this video, what lengths I'll go to just to travel, but it's something that I truly enjoy. And with YouTube, I know that a lot of people use it to find out about places or get people's opinions or just kind of see what thing or something is about or some place is about before they get there. And that's something that I use, you know, researching my trips. But I feel like there were certain videos that I was looking for that I really didn't see. So I wanted to do my part with adding just a little bit here and there to YouTube so that when more people like me are searching and wanting to know about places, they can hopefully watch my videos and feel inspired to travel. With this trip especially, I did not plan, I did not save, and it still worked out great. And I know a lot of people have the mentality that traveling is really expensive and that you really have to do a lot to be able to go these places, and it's not always true. You can definitely find good deals. I know that while you're traveling though, you definitely have to know what's important to you. So while I'm traveling, the experience is more important to me. I don't really have to worry about staying in a 5-star hotel with the latest accommodations. Not to say that you have to compromise that all the time, but when you're looking for deals, it's good to know what's important to you so you can kind of gauge what you're willing to spend on what to get the full experience and still enjoy your trip. Another point I wanted to make before we get into talking about this trip is don't be afraid to travel alone. As a young African-American woman, like, it's a little nervous, but I don't let that stop me from traveling. Definitely take your precautions and be diligent about your surroundings, be safe, but don't let the lack of having other people with you stop you from going on a trip, because everybody's had that experience where you plan a trip and of course in the beginning 20 people want to go and by the end it's maybe 2 or 3 and maybe they even flake off and then it's just yourself. At that point you don't want to be like, well, I guess I can't go on a trip. At that point you need to figure out what you can find that will accommodate just one person, things that you can do, maybe to meet new people so you don't feel maybe by yourself while you're on your trips, but that you can still go and enjoy. Because honestly, if you waited for other people to travel, you would probably be waiting for a really long time. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to find, your travel buddies here and there. But like I said, just don't let that stop you from traveling by yourself. Do your research. Make sure you know about where you're going, any dangers, any things that you need to take precautions about, and just go. Let's get to it. With this trip, I am traveling to traveling to Paris, Rome, Ghana, London, and Barcelona. And each one of those will have its own travel video. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of those videos to come. Also, I have this written down so that I don't forget to tell you all anything. As a disclaimer, this is my first time vlogging and editing, so please bear with me. Don't be too crucial of these videos. Just soak in all the information that you can get and take it as you wish. So me and my best friend started planning this trip in January is when the idea came up. Also, if you guys haven't listened to the podcast, definitely I'll try to add a link below. We'll figure that out so you guys can go listen to the podcast of me and Giovanni talking about the planning of this trip and how all of that came about. So go do that and then come back, or just stay and watch it. But we started planning this trip in January, and throughout the year we kind of just bought the individual legs of the trip. As we kind of searched, made sure we were getting a really good price on the tickets, and if we felt like it was low enough, we would just buy it. The first plane ticket that we bought was the end of the trip from Rome back to New York, so it actually didn't even go in order. So after booking our last leg of the trip, we throughout the year just continue to purchase the flights. And I want to say we didn't finish buying all of our tickets and having everything like finished and ready to go, not till the end of October, beginning of November. Now, for some people that may be cutting it kind of close, but if you love to travel, you got to do what you got to do. Anyways. Now, for safety reasons, I'm not gonna completely discuss where I'll be staying ahead of time. You can catch all of that in the videos to come. So like I said, make sure you subscribe, but I will kind of be giving a general overview of the things that I had to pay for, things that I spent money on, and sorts while we're going through that. So let's kind of get into that. So first, your passport. Now, of course, this is just a passport holder. You need your actual passport. This cost me $110. The original passport form is only $100, but I had one and it expired, so you don't need to see all that information. Real quick flash. But mine expired, so I had to pay focus. I had to pay $110 to get mine renewed. Global Entry. Global Entry is a program that lasts for 5 years, and it allows you to, when you're coming back into the country, kind of skip the long customs line. And I think you use like a kiosk, and you skip the long custom lines, and you can use a kiosk, and you kind of just get back into the United States a little quicker. With Global Entry, it also includes TSA PreCheck. Now I'm gonna talk about both of those. TSA PreCheck is $85. Like I said, it also lasts for 5 years. With TSA PreCheck, when you're going through the airports, now TSA PreCheck is only for the air, but when you're going through airports, you don't have to remove your shoes, your laptops, your belts, light jackets. You don't have to take any of that off. And if any of you have flown, you know that while you're in the airport going through security, TSA PreCheck has its own line. So you also get to skip the line and wave to everyone as they wait there, no matter which airport you're in. Now, I believe there are a lot of airports that have TSA PreCheck. I don't think every airport has it. Let's see. Expedited security screening. Enjoy the benefits in more at 200 airports in the US and 60 participating airlines. Children under 12 accompanied by a parent can also just go through the TSA PreCheck line. Now that's TSA pre-check. Like I said, now that's $85. It's also included in global entry. Now global entry is $100 and it includes being able to come back into the country with all those same perks. I applied for global entry. I paid my $100 and you have to schedule an interview online. I scheduled my interview at Lambert Airport sometime in September, maybe 2 weeks, 1 week before my interview. I got a letter saying, hey, due to the crisis at the southern border, your interview has been canceled. You please pick a different airport. That was real inconvenient. So the next closest airport to me was Memphis that had any available appointment times before my trip. Was Memphis, November 13th. So I was like, okay, I'll just drive to Memphis, go to the airport and get that done. So I set up that appointment and I waited. Now let's kind of skip on to the next thing and we'll come back to this. You also need a visa to enter into Ghana. If I can find it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So with your visa, you do have to mail off your passport, your money, and it's almost like getting a passport. Those mini photos, you have to mail that off with your money and your actual passport to the Ghanaian embassy in DC. Now, I'll put the website link below because when I first looked this up, the website looked a little sketchy. I'll be honest. I wasn't sure about sending my passport to some place like this. So through other friends who have done this, I confirmed that this was what I was supposed to do. But you fill out the application, you get your money order, you mail your passport, money order, your photos to DC. They process your application for your visa and they send it back to you. Now on the website, if you're paying for just regular shipping and processing time, they tell you please allow 7 to 10 business days. Now don't count the day that you actually ship it. Hi, my name is Procrastinator. And I like to wait to the last minute to do things. So I waited to the last minute to do my visa. I got a multiple entry visa, which was $100 versus a single entry visa, which was $60. The multiple entry lasts for 5 years, whereas the single entry lasts for 3 months. So by any chance anybody wants to go back to Ghana, I've got 5 years to do it. So I mailed it off in a rush because I waited so long that the date that I had my global entry interview was coming up and you need your passport. So I was hoping, well, I'll just mail off my passport to Ghana or to the embassy and hope that I'll get it back. I think 10 days would have put it the day before my interview. I don't have my global entry stuff ready because my passport came the day of my interview. And of course, nobody's going to make a 12 o'clock interview for a 4-hour drive. Not going to happen. So I didn't get that done. But global entry, because of the border crisis that they're having, they allow you to do an interview on re-entry. So when I get back into the States, I can just go into the global entry office and do the interview and everything there and get everything handled. And then I'll be ready for my next trip. So, you know, one thing I missed out on, but it's all right. So also going to Ghana, you need your yellow fever card. That's what it looks like. It folds out. It has your shot information on it. You need yellow fever to get into the country, and you need this card. If you don't have this card when you get into the country, I do believe they make you either get the shot, and I think it's really expensive if you get it there. I don't know. Or maybe they'll just send you home. Who knows? But I got mine, so don't go without yours. The yellow fever, in total, for my whole trip, everyone was waiting for that point. So the total cost for my flights and hotels, which doesn't include like my shots or like the passport stuff. I didn't include that because some people may have passports Some people may have had their shots, and maybe it's different for you depending on where you live. But my total cost was $2,600 for the month with airfare and like my hotels and my stays combined together. Now I'll throw it up on the screen, the breakdown of how much each place costs, my hotels and airfare, and of course just the prices for everything else. I'll just throw that in a link down below. But you can see for a month, I'm going to, was it 5 places? $2,600. I probably could have spent less if I didn't go to as many places or I wasn't gone for as long. But you see these trips where you're gone for 2 weeks for maybe 1 or 2 places and you're paying $2,600. So, you know, keep that in perspective. But I hope you guys continue to watch these videos. I'll practice so that it can get better, so you guys have a better time watching me here. But definitely subscribe, comment. If you guys know me, make sure you throw some love down in the comment section. Tell me if there's anything you want to see or anything in the videos you think I should change. And I've got a flight to catch. Deuces. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's get to it. Nope, gonna cut that one out too. And nope, I got distracted. This is why podcasting is so much easier. You don't have so many things to worry about.